Okay, so the first 3D tool we're going to discuss today will be the Dropshadow tool, and the Dropshadow tool is located right here on our toolbox, just immediately by this side. You can see my mouse moving around. Just by this side is where our 3D tool is located. So under the 3D we have different series of them there, but we're going to start off with Dropshadow. So now, from the word Dropshadow, what do you think a Dropshadow means? Take yourself for an example. Yourself as a human, you are standing as a reflection of a light. Let's say there's a light ray directly on you. Immediately you see your reflection by the side, and that reflection of yourself you are seeing is the shadow of yourself. Do you understand? So that shadow of yourself is on the Coreldraw itself. You can apply that kind of effect. You can see from the sun ray applied was directed towards you, and then the shadow came out of you. So the same way you can apply that kind of effect using the Dropshadow tool. So from the word shadow itself means creating something imaginary part, an imaginary part of you, of yourself. Do you understand? Creating an imaginary part of yourself. That's what a Dropshadow is. So let's just see how can you use Dropshadow to manipulate designs. So with this Dropshadow, you can also use the Dropshadow on text, images, shapes, or whatever it is that you can think of. Those are the kind of things you use the Dropshadow to do. Everything that you want to manipulate on Coreldraw, you use the Dropshadow for that. Okay, so now let's see what we can use that for. So let's start with like a shape. So I'm going to use this rectangle shape, for example. Let's draw out a rectangle shape and apply a uniform fill color to it. Let's say green. I'm going to apply a green color to it and give it a nice revealing outline. Let's say 20. And now I got the outline. I'll just simply press just F12 on your keyboard. So okay, now with this I have my shape, and I want to apply a 3D effect to this shape I have here. So let me increase it so you can see the effect by the time an effect will be placed on it. And I think I'm just going to create a duplicate for this so you can see the before and after. So this is how it was before, and then this is how it's going to look like by the time we're done with the new effect we're applying to it. Okay, now so with this, let's just do that. Apply a Dropshadow to it. So I'll just select the Dropshadow itself, and then remember the first thing you need to do is first of all select the image or the text or whatever it is that you want to create a 3D effect on. Select it and then come over to your toolbox and pick the effect that you want to apply to. So I want to apply a Dropshadow effect on this. So I'm just going to select the Dropshadow and then click on the object itself. Click on the object and drag. Do you understand? So if I don't even want to click and drag, I can just click and then it will pop up. So click and drag, and I want us to observe something. You can see the shadow effect. I just zoomed in. To zoom in, you can use Ctrl+, but if you're using your mouse, just use the every part of it. You can see the effect it's giving us here around this part. You can see the effect of the of the shadow itself. But if you want to increase or reduce it, you can use this bar here to reduce or increase it. Do you understand? So if I want to increase, I'm going to increase it with this, and I see. So I can also change the positioning. If I want it to come from this angle, you can see the effect it's giving me now. If I want it to also come from this angle, I can do that. If I want it to come from another angle, I can just select from another place and simply do that. If I want to select from another place, just click and drag whichever place. Remember you are still in your Dropshadow. So whatever kind of effect you want to apply to it, you can do that. You can also reduce the intensity of the shadow you are applying by coming over to this part and then reducing and increasing. Do you understand? You can also reduce the intensity and you can also change the positioning by clicking and dragging on these nodes, and that's how to apply those effects. Also, with that being said, you can also change and apply the color of your effect of the Dropshadow you're applying. Let's say for example this one is the natural one, which is black. You can also apply different kind of colors, and to apply the colors you have to come over to this part here. You can see here my mouse zooming around. Just come over to this part here. You can see here we have this this dialog, this small box here. It's what you can use to change the color, and then multiply. You can use this one to adjust the change the kind of way you want your 3D effect to look like. And then here is where you can reduce the intensity, you understand, the volume of, just like what we are doing here. I want us to observe something. I want us to put our eyes on this part. Whatever effect I'm putting here is also affecting this part. So the same effect you are doing here, just to reduce the intensity of the drop shadow you are applying. Do you understand? So basically, guys, that's all for that one. So, and then under this part is to check about for the feather parts of the design. That all these edges, this edge parts here, all of these edge parts, it's called the feather. So if you want to increase or reduce the feather, you can do that also. So but basically I just leave mine as it. You can see the effect that it's giving us here. So basically that's how all of these things are done. So it depends on the kind of design that you are working on. Do you understand? That will require you to apply each and any of those things. So if you don't even want anyone at all to just look like something like this, you can do that also. So whichever way you want it to look like, that's the kind of effect it will give you. So let's leave it back to our default, which was 15. And let's leave it at 12. Okay, with this now the next thing is you can also change the kind of color. So to change the color, you can come over to this place, click on the drop down there, and then you can change the color of your shadow. So for example, now the initial color that is giving us here is black, and we want it to be something different. Let's say we want a color like this. You can see I just simply need to do, just select the kind of color I want to apply there, and then the color is going to take effect on the design. So guys, let's just walk around it. I think I'm cool with this, and then we are good to go. Do you understand? So if you also want to change the intensity, of the kind of design that you want to bring out, depends on the kind of design you're working on actually. But let me just move this here, and then let's see the effect that it's going to give us. So right now the default is to multiply. If you want it to be normal, you can just select normal. You can see there's not much difference on normal. If you want to add, you can see it has just added. That's why it's looking like that. And then if you want it if you want to subtract, you can subtract. If you want to add the difference, you can see the effect it's giving us. It's inverting the color. So the list continue, there's divide, there's if lighter. So it depends on the kind of design. Do you understand? This if the kind of design they are working on. So you can just choose any of all of these things. I'm just clicking around them to see whichever one you want to use. So it depends on the kind of design you are working on. Basically, that's when you can know the kind of effects you want to apply on it. So we just look at the default, which is what? Multiply. So let's look at the default, which is multiply, and then you can see the effect on that. So basically, guys, that's all you need to know about the drop shadow for now. I want us to also note the differences between the two. You can see this was the initial one without a shadow, and then this is the other one with a shadow. You can see that it's moving together, and there's a way you can also break apart the shadows, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just going to make another video for that. There's a way you can break apart the shadows. Just come over to your shadow back, and then you can see the effect that is going to be. You can clear the drop shadow. If you don't want the shadow effect on the design again, you can clear the drop shadow and itself like that. Also, so you can see, like I said earlier, this is different between the original one and then this other one. That is 3D effect that is applied to the drop shadow. So let's bring this somewhere here, and then let's work on another effect on drop shadow. Let's see what we can achieve with that. Okay, now so let's work with the text. So let's work with the text this time around. I'm going to write just a letter. Let's write text, a word text. Let's work with text. Give it a very bold font. Let's say area black. So area black, and then I want to apply the color to it. Let's say I'm going to apply a blue color to this, and I'll give it a white outline, or let's say a white fill and a blue outline. Yeah, this looks better. So let's increase the outline to something better. Let's say something very obvious, 25. Okay, so now let's see the effect that we added to this. Let's see the effect that we added to this under the drop shadow, still under the drop shadow. So I just come over to the drop shadow, select the drop shadow here, select the text where I want to apply the drop shadow, and then you can see I'm dragging it down, something like this. You can now see the effect that you can now change over between these parts to check for the intensity. You can see the effect that it's giving me now. Do you understand? So you can see the effect that it's giving me with the drop shadow. I think I like something like this. This looks nice. So with this you can achieve the drop shadow effect with this. You can see the effect that it gave me using my drop shadow effect. So I think I like this. So basically you can still work on your own. Just try to be creative, you understand? Just try to be creative, but also apply drop shadow on images. Also you can also apply drop shadows on images, and you also get the same kind of effect that you can get. So whatever we want to manipulate it, it's still the same thing. You can manipulate it on text, can manipulate it on shapes, can manipulate it on images. Whatever thing you want to manipulate the drop shadow on, you can manipulate each and every one of them here on Coreldraw. So guys, see you in our next video. And our next video, we are going to be explaining the next one, which is the contour tool. And how to.
Okay, so basically guys, that's all for this video. And in our next video I'm going to be explaining the many parts of the 3D effects, and which will start off with the contour tool and how to apply the contour effect and the kind of effect the contour tool is going to give us. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy the video, kindly like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, and make a comment on the comment section. Let's engage, let's interact. See you in our next video.